this team is really starting to frustrate me over the last couple games. Now, I understand they've only lost 2 games in a row, but it's the way they're losing these games that is just really frustrating. Because it's a mix of everything that is going south, by the way, as you guys can realize, in a much different area than the last video. Look at my little business area. Got my business chair. Look at that. It's pretty crazy. And I apologize right away if there's a light over there, it goes off automatically. I don't know what's wrong with the room. I don't know if that's just the bulb or what, but it goes off. I already did a video once and it cut it out. So the Jays lose 4-1 to the Oakland A's. It sucks. Estrada wasn't that great. He wasn't spotting up his pitches as we know he can. However, the defense, you look at one play, Ezekiel Carrera, they said he lost it in the lights, but he, tumbled over the ball. I'm not sure what happened there. That led to a run, and, he did have 8 strikeouts in the game. He was okay. There it goes there. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. But you look at the team from a whole, they score 1 run, and they had opportunities to score a bunch more. But the question that has been, asked a lot of late, why can't the Jays hit with runners in scoring position? Because they are trying to go for the long ball. And clearly, that's not working. You saw today, Troy Tulowitzki hit a ball into the hole. They were playing him in the shift. He slices it the other way. That's a good piece of hitting. But the rest of the team doesn't get it. I look at that inning where the Jays scored that 1 run that Troy Tulowitzki scored. And I look at that and I'm like, that is exactly what this team has to do. Fight tough pitches off. Dump them into the outfield. Be greasy about it. Do what you have to do to score runs. But I have seen no fight of late. I have seen absolutely no fight. And I'm going to go down the lineup and I'm going to talk about players that have just changed, or they're not the same, or they're not what we want to see. For goodness sakes, Kevin Pillar, he's kind of going back to his old habits of swinging to a lot of bad pitches. And that's scary because he's your leadoff guy. You want him to get on base. He has not gotten on base a lot as of late. Maybe there's time to switch up the lineup. You would usually have Devin Travis leading off. But he's now on the DL, so there goes that right out the window. Donaldson is the one guy that is actually playing hard game in, game out. He was 2 for 3 in this game. He beat out an infield single. Why? Because he's hustling down the line. And then Ryan Goins gets thrown out at the plate. I'm not sure what he was thinking on that play. People are saying, well, the bat was in the way. Okay, it was, but he was out by a mile anyways. So it really wouldn't have mattered. Kevin Pillar getting thrown out, trying to stretch a single into a double. Now, arguably that throw was ridiculously solid, so it was right on point and he got him. But again, that's a really big risk. He took it and he got out. And, certain players are killing me, like Jose Bautista and Kendrys Morales, guys who are veterans, who are just swinging for the long ball as of late. You look at Kendrys Morales, guys, and I love the power this guy brings. But man, does he have holes. That down and in curveball to him, it just eats him up. And when he does make contact, he just rolls over on it, and it's a ground ball. And we all know he's not going to hustle that out. He's just going to jog it out. Even if it's a double play ball, he's just going to jog it out. Put some effort in. Show us that you want to win games, you want to fight, instead of just hitting long balls. It's just so frustrating. It's just so frustrating watching guys. Justin Smoke is one of the guys that is having a ridiculously good year. He was 0 for 3 tonight, but he drew a walk, and he's hitting .283 for God's sakes. So I'm fine with that. Troy Tulowitzki had a great night. He was 2 for 4 with the RBI. I'm totally fine with him. But then I look at players like, Ryan Goins, who had a 1 for 4 game. But you look at that one inning, like I said earlier, that the Jays scored runs, and that was in that fourth inning. Bautista was safe on a throwing error. Now, I'm not saying he forced the mistake, but he was running a little bit, and whoa, look at that. They made a mistake, and you were safe. Why? Because you were running. But if you're not hustling, still a missed throw, but you're just going to get tagged out because you weren't running hard. Then Morales hits an infield single. It was a hard hit ball. Okay, great. Then Smoke grounds into a fielder's choice. But what happens? Why didn't he get doubled up? Because he was running his rear end off, because he knew that he could beat that double play out. And he beat it out barely, but he did. And what does that do? Give Troy Tulowitzki an opportunity to drive in a run, and he does just that, as I said earlier. And then Carrera gets hit by a pitch. Great. But what does Goins do? Tries to do a little too much. You have bases loaded, one out. You need to get the ball in the outfield to score a run and to give your team the lead. But what happens? He rolls over on it, tries a little too much, ground ball, double play, inning over. And that was really the main inning that the Jays had anything going. The rest was just nowhere to be found. And I look at a guy like Luke Maile in this game. I don't know what the guy was thinking. I always say, go up there with an approach, with a game plan. I don't know if Luke Maile had a game plan in this game. He was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. And I know one strikeout, I think it was in like the 6th or 7th inning. We had a runner at first, I think it was with 1 out. The guy watched all 3 strikes go by. Didn't even take a hack. Didn't even check swing. Didn't do it. He just stood there. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, were you just guessing wrong the entire time? And when you start guessing for pitches, it's over. You got to go up there and say, okay, I will look fastball, but I will react curveball and fight it off and wait for my pitch. I don't know if Maile went up there with a game plan. He just went up there and said, well, let's see what happens. Because that's what it looked like to me, and it was atrocious. And that's with a lot of the team. They go up there and they're watching first pitch strikes right there that they can hit, and they're just letting them go by. And also, they're not fighting. They really aren't. And it's killing me to watch. It really, really is. Because your starter is on the mound, grinding and grinding and grinding. Marco Estrada at one point sat down 7-8 in a row. He was doing great. But the Jays offense, nowhere to be found. Nowhere. And then they get a couple more runs, and at that point, the Jays offense was already shriveled up, so they pretty much crawled into a hole and died. I understand they've only lost 2 games in a row, but man, have they looked awful in those couple of games. They're getting runners on. But once they get runners on, they're thinking, ooh, a 3-run shot would be nice. No! An RBI single would be nice. A 2-run double would be great. The approaches at the plate are not what they should be doing. Now, I've been hearing a lot on Twitter and seeing a lot on Twitter about this team getting blown up. Now, we're still not at that stage yet, guys. But if we keep seeing games like this, it's going to be tough not to think about it. But I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to think and just take it game by game and move on. But when we're seeing the same stuff game in, game out, I mean, you look back to when these big names, when Donaldson and Tulowitzki and Martin, all those guys were out of the lineup, what was happening? At-bats were being grinded out, and the team was being a pesky team to face. But now it's just like, well, I'll strike, throw a curveball to Morales, throw a bunch of curveballs to the Jays. They're either going to look at it or try and swing it, keep the ball down, and, they're going to swing over top and strike out. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating having to watch this team fight hard against the Yankees for a split, play really good baseball before, and then go west to take on Oakland and just crawl up in a hole and put their bats away. I don't know what has happened. They need to salvage one game out of this. I mean, tomorrow is a afternoon game. It's a 3:35 first pitch. It is Francisco Lariano on the mound for the Jays. I mean, he had a very good outing in his last start against the Yankees. You need one tonight. You need one tomorrow, because if the offense is going to be like it is today, it's going to be tough to score runs. But this team desperately needs to get in the win column to feel some momentum. This is killing me, alright? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, hey, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of the game. I mean, and what have you thought of the team over the last couple days? You know, I hope I'm not just talking a bunch of garbage to you guys. I hope you guys agree with me about the at-bats and just the way I'm watching this team play right now, because they're not showing with any oomph, if you want to call it that. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I guess it'll be in the evening. Well, yeah, post-game will be like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whenever it'll be. So I guess that's technically the evening, all right? We really need to get back in the win column. Talk to you guys then.